important thing to keep in mind when harvesting garlic is the amount of green leaves left on the plant. You don't want it to die completely all the way down to the ground, because you can run into stuff like this. What happens is as all the leaves die, the outer skin rots and dies as well, and it just leaves the cloves exposed, making it not great for storage. It's still edible and still quality garlic, and this will last all the rest of the summer and even into fall. But when we talk about storing it through the winter, it just wouldn't store as well. It'd get a little bit mushy. So you're looking for more like this. You still want, I like to at least have a few green leaves still left on there, and you see it still has a nice thick skin on it. Just like when I harvest shallots, when I harvest garlic, I like to wait for the soil to be as dry as possible. But because I heavily mulch them and keep them heavily mulched, it doesn't always work out that way. We've also had heavy rains and thunderstorms, overcast skies the past week. So even though I've given the soil a couple days in the sun to dry out after the rain, it's still pretty moist, especially where the heads of garlic are forming. So all I do is I just harvest them regularly, and I like to bang them on the fork, and as you can see, it still has a pretty good amount of wet, moist soil around it. So I lay them out and I leave them in the sun for just not too long, because the sun can cook them. I've made that mistake before, but just long enough to dry out the soil, and then give it another tap on the fork, and it does pretty well, and then it's ready to store, and I get them to last throughout the winter. I still have garlic from last year that's still good. A little bit mushy, but still tastes good. Usually not as flavorful when you store it for that long, and it's just not as ideal, but I like to experiment. So as you can see, there's just different, you can just lay it out, and it makes it so the soil can fall off easier, and if you just get it to this state, it's perfect. I mean, you don't have to get them super clean. It's better to not clean them than to overly, be too aggressive with them and peel off more skin and stuff, because that's what helps their storage quality. I've done some experiments with shallots and garlic by keeping the scapes on and removing the scapes, seeing if removing the scapes results in larger bulbs. I haven't noticed much of a difference, especially in shallots, but in garlic, I've noticed somewhat of a difference. Here's one German white that I didn't remove the scape on, and as you can see, it's still a nice head of garlic. But this is all of the other German white that I did not remove the scape on. And as you can see, a lot of them are pretty much twice as big as the one that did not have the scape removed. And this was not the only one that I left the scape on. I pretty much half of this patch I kept the scapes on this year. once I have the garlic all spread out on the ground and harvested, I just go along the rows with some string. And there's a lot of ways that you can do this. I've seen a lot of really cool methods online of braiding and different methods that you can hang up your garlic and store it. I don't really ever count exactly how many I put in each bundle, but really anywhere from 25 to 40, even or less, you know, it works great. The main thing is you just don't want to leave too many in the center that are being clogged or suffocated. So I kind of just leave it like this and just leave them all separate. Kind of layer them in there like that. It's very simple. Just like that. Creates a really beautiful, beautiful, almost bouquet looking, upside down bouquet of garlic. And it's just wonderful. Makes you feel great. Harvested all this garlic. Just like the shallots, it's incredibly, incredibly rewarding. The yield that you get is just awesome. Some bigger than others, but I love pretty much all the varieties that I grow, and I'll list those in this video. So all I do is just tie it up. And my main thing is I like to keep them really nice and tight so they don't move around or anything. So that's how I do it. Like I talked about in the video about shallots, the garlic is also dry farmed. I don't water it, I don't feed it. I have in the past, but I've noticed it just kind of results in weaker, less flavorful, not as spicy garlic. And we can't have that.